And when you get that feeling like, God, I know this is you, right? Because I went into this fearful but trusting um that God had a plan, and he knows my heart. He knows my vision. Um so he's pushing me to do basically what I've been called to do and been too afraid to do it. When I turned 40, I felt a shift coming. I didn't know what it was, but I fought against it because it was the unknown. On the outside, life looked exactly how I had prayed for. I had just graduated with my master's degree, purchased my dream car, and my husband and I had bought a beautiful new home. Everything I had worked so hard for was finally coming to light. But deep down, I kept asking myself, what's next? My children were older, leaving me with more time for myself, something I wasn't used to. For years, I had worked full time, went to school, and took care of my family. I should have felt fulfilled, but instead I felt exhausted, mentally, physically, and emotionally. And still, I wouldn't rest. Then my body started speaking to me. The aches, the stiffness, the fatigue. My mind followed from the stress, overwhelm, and anxiety. And then came the breakdown. That moment when I realized I couldn't just push through the pain anymore. I had to stop. I had to take a break. I had to listen. As women, we ignore the signs. We keep going, hoping things will get better, praying for relief. But sometimes, for things to get better, we have to be willing to change. And now, I'm stepping back into my life, into work, into myself. But this time, differently. Because I'm not the woman who left. I'm the woman who chose to heal. And trust me, becoming her takes work. I have returned to work, and I wanted to check in and share what the experience has been like since I've been back to work. It's been a week and a half. I went back on a Thursday, and my team was very excited that I was back. Um, I was excited to hear from them and get their messages, but I was not ready to be back at work. But you have to do what you got to do. The bills have to get paid, so back to work I went. Um, so I took Thursday and Friday pretty slow. I had a meeting with my manager, and she asked how I was doing, if there was anything I needed from her. Um, Having very understanding management helped a lot with this process. Um, but she was like, just take your time, take it slow. She was like, I know you have thousands of emails, so work on cleaning your inbox. We'll talk about your workload at another time. So I was like, great, we're on the same page. Um, so the following week, I picked back up my workload, and again, I took it slow. Something that I learned during this time is that I I rush, not rush, but I always have to do. when I get a task, I have to do it. I have to run with it. I have to get it done. I have to make sure it's right. Remember, I said I'm a recovering perfectionist. Um, so this is something new to me. Taking my time, still getting the job done, but I don't have to be so into it, and critique myself or um just going too hard for no reason. So, um I had boundaries before I stepped out on medical leave, which was I blocked my calendar. So one week I block it in the morning, the next week I block it in the afternoon, and that is my time to get work done. Um, I'm not scheduling no meetings during that time. That is my specific work time. I'll also set a boundary that I'm only looking at 5 contracts a day, because when you just constantly looking and reading, it begins to get a little overwhelming sometimes. So I said, okay, my magic number is 5. If there's not too much going on and I feel like I can keep going, I'll look at more. But that's my cap, is the 5. So I have been sticking with that, and I've noticed not having that weight um as far as work is concerned, which is great. Funny though, the other day I'm sitting at my desk and my son is home from work, and he comes into my office and he's like, "What's wrong?" And I said, "I'm sitting here trying to figure out how to respond to an email, and I keep saying the same thing, and it's like they're not understanding." So my son looked at me, and just a simple, it was like, "Don't respond." I was like, "Okay." So I didn't respond. I left that email sitting right there. Um, and I dealt with it the next day. So um, I'm thankful for those little reminders that I get that it's okay. You know, um, everything doesn't need my action or my reply right away. I can take my time. So I appreciated that. So, yes. So back at work, last week was my first full week. And Saturday and Sunday, I did nothing. I think it was a little not challenging, but my body felt it. So I just let my body rest. I listened to my body, which is something I never really used to do. So I listened to my body. I laid down. I watched TV. I watched movies. Sunday, I got up. Me and my son went and got us some coffee. I went and picked up a Sam's Club order, and I was supposed to record this, but I was like, nope, I'm going to keep listening to my body and my mind, and I'm going to give myself some time to relax and rest. So that's what I did, and I'm proud of myself for that. So, but work is going great. I'm trying to figure out what I'm going to do moving forward with through the journey. I don't think I've shared much about my business because, excuse me, I've been battling on where I'm going with it. So I started through the journey back in 2019, and I started with t-shirts, and of course COVID hit, so that kind of stunk, but I made the best of it. Then I started with journals and soy candles and wax melts. So the premise with that is I'm all about empowering, I'm all about inspiring, and I'm all about self-care. So it became a lot to market my products. And it did not do as well as I thought it would do, which is okay. You live and you learn. So I was at the point where I was like, I'm just done. I'm just gonna give up on the business. It didn't do what I wanted it to do, so I'm just done. But something on the inside wouldn't let me be done. So I'm like, okay, God, what am I supposed to do with this? And I feel like he's pushing me in a different direction. And I say that because last year I started my YouTube page through the Journey with Jennifer. And I knew that's where he was pushing me to do, is to get myself out there, speak more, share my journey, inspire others, empower others. But I was afraid. I not afraid of being judged or what other people would say or what other people would think. I'm just a private person. I keep to myself, and I only share what needs to be shared. But I just felt like God was pushing me, and I was like, okay, I'm gonna take this leap. I'm gonna jump. I'm scared. I'm afraid, but I'm gonna do it afraid, and I'm gonna trust in God, and that's what I did. So then I was like, okay, I keep hearing all this stuff about TikTok, TikTok, TikTok. I started my page on TikTok where I've been sharing my journey about my mental health and just trying to be inspiring. And someone reached out to me and said, thank you, for sharing your journey. I would love the opportunity for you to come on my podcast and speak about your journey. And I was like, wow. And when you get that feeling like, God, I know this is you, right? Because I went into this fearful but trusting that God had a plan, and he knows my heart. He knows my vision. So he's pushing me to do basically what I've been called to do and been too afraid to do it. I had a conversation actually this afternoon with Miss Tony, and I will be on her podcast in the next few weeks, which I am excited about. We had a great conversation, and I think it's amazing when you can connect with other people who had the same mind as you, the same vision as you, as far as helping other people on their journey, their healing journey, because a lot of people go through different things and they're too afraid to share it or talk about it. And I get it, because like I said, I'm a private person, so it's kind of hard to come out of your shell and talk about something personal that you've been through. But I have learned there's healing that comes with talking about it. So that's why it's been important to me to talk about my journey, because it's healing for me. It lets me know and shows me that I'm growing and I'm learning and I'm overcoming something. So I'm very excited to be sharing and speaking with Miss Tony, and I will definitely share more on her podcast. and maybe show some clips of what we discussed. But that right there was the reassurance that I needed from God. You know, He does not always show up when you want Him to, no matter how many times you call on Him, but He does come right on time, you know, and I'm thankful for that. I am. I am, because I've um last year I had a difficult time with my faith, and I'm working on building that back up. But I just I was just really in a bad space last year, and I really felt like God was not listening. Um he was ignoring my calls. But um he showed up right on time. He really did. But I also learned that there were some things that I needed to do, and I needed to get out of my own way. And I think that's what he was showing me. Um, and then once I got over that, he's like, all right, you get it now. You get it. See what I've been trying to show you, what I've been trying to teach you. And that's beautiful. That's beautiful. Um, but I just wanted to pop in, give an update about me being back to work. I am going to continue with these boundaries. I am going to continue with Through the Journey and this vision that I have. The mission has always been the same: to inspire and to empower. And how I always say, my journey may not be your journey, but there's something that we can learn from it all. If we just share and talk and communicate with one another, um, we can learn from one another. So that is what this is. That is what Through the Journey with Jennifer is. This is a safe space to come and share and talk about life, about real life experiences that we go through on this journey called life. So I'm glad that you're here with me, that I'm able to share with you. And I hope that you continue to ride along with me on this journey, so we can see together where Through the Journey goes, where I go. And I would like to see and hear where you go, what your journey is. So make sure to like, subscribe, comment, share. Let me know your thoughts, because I would really love to hear from you. And I will check in with you guys at another time and let you know how everything is going and give y'all an update. So thanks again for tuning in, and I will chat with you next time.